Once upon a time, there was a saint, a traveling saint, who was traveling through India, and wherever he went, he was causing a big impression of people because he had this incredible voice. He was always singing with his two best friends, and he would sing the praises of God, and everybody felt that they were speaking to them, that these songs were speaking to them. Whether they were Muslims or Hindus or whatever religion, they always felt a connection to him. This is Guru Nanak, a little story about Guru Nanak today, about the first saint and guru and teacher of the Sikh Dharma. And after him, there would be a number of gurus that would carry on. But this story is about Guru Nanak. And it's said that this is the story of the day that he got enlightened. So there it goes. He was traveling around India, and wherever he went, he was creating a following. People were coming to see him, were coming to listen to him, and they would honor him and bring some food. And so he was becoming well known. And I think he was 30 years old when this happened. So one day he went into the river to have his general cleaning himself, bathing, and preparing for his practice, morning practice, the sadhana. And so he went inside the river to bathe, and this time he disappeared. The clothes were outside, and apparently he went into the water, but where is he? He's not in the water. His disciples started to come, and his followers came and were like, where is Guru Nanak? Where is he? Has he disappeared? And they looked into the river, and they couldn't find him in the river. And they looked across the river if he came out through the other side. There were no footprints anywhere, so he didn't cross to the other side. But it's a fairly strong river. Maybe he got carried by the strong currents, and maybe he's downriver. So they started to walk down the river, looking if he ended up farther down. And they walked for kilometers, and they couldn't find him. Maybe he went upstream. For some reason, he was doing exercise and he wanted to do upstream. Let's go look upstream. They went upstream and they couldn't find him. And so, where is Guru Nanak? Have we lost our Guru? Has he drowned? But if so, where is his body? And so they started to get very worried. Hours passed, he was disappeared, and a day passed, and everybody started to assume the worst, that he had passed on, that he went away, that he died. And so they started to get really sad of having lost this great saint, and they started to celebrate his life, but also mourn his passing, and they were chanting, and they were doing the whole process when somebody passes away. And so it was for 2 or 3 days. People started to come from around. Whenever they heard that Guru Nanak had passed away, people would come from everywhere to come and meet the place where he had disappeared. And so a gathering created around the spot in the river where he disappeared. And 3 days later, out of the water comes the figure, a white figure shining. And then as he comes closer, they realize it's him, it's Guru Nanak. And he's shining, he's bright, he's all light, pure light, light of consciousness, shining through. And then he chants, Ekonkar, Sat Naams, Karta Purak, Nirbho, Nirvair, Akal Murat, Ajuni, Saibhang, Guru Prasad, Jap, Ad Sach, Yugat Sach, Hebi Sach, Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. And later on he would explain that this is what he heard when he got enlightened. This is like what God spoke to him, Ekonkar, Sat Naams, Karta Purak, up until Jap. And Ad Sach, Yugat Sach, that's what he replied, what he said back. Ad Sach, Yugat Sach, Hebi Sach, Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. He has his own name because it's like an exclamation. It's like if I said, oh, Ardaas, why are you doing this? Like if I would say my name in that way, so he would say his name, oh, Nanak, Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. So that's the phrase that he replied to God. So this is the very first thing he said and he heard when he got enlightened. And this is the main tenet, the main sutra, let's say, of a Sikh Dharma. Out of here would come the whole of Japji, which is the first, Japji Sahib is the first prayer that is chanted in the mornings by Sikhs all over the world. And it is said that it contains the whole essence of Sri Guru Granth Sahib. Sri Guru Granth Sahib is the holy book of the Sikhs, like the Quran would be for the Muslims, or the Bible would be for the Christians. And the Sri Guru Granth Sahib is said that the whole essence is contained within the Japji. And the whole Japji can be contained within the first sentence, the first phrase, and that's the Mul Mantra. This is the beginning of the Mul Mantra. This is how Mul Mantra started. Mul meaning root, so this would be the root mantra out of which all other mantras come out. So it's a wonderful story. I'm sure there are different versions of it, and I'm sure some versions are less fantastic as this one. I like this one. I like these seemingly impossible things that sometimes are, described on the stories of the gurus, and we hear many fantastic stories, and this is the way I heard it. I mean, maybe there are different versions on it, but in any case, this is the very first sentence of the Sikh holy book, and so it has very special meaning. I have a whole course on mantras in this channel in YouTube, and I wanted to take the wisdom from mantra yoga and apply it to one mantra, but in detail. And so we're going to start a new course. This is the first part of this course, and we're going to be exploring the whole mantra word by word, sound by sound. We're going to do this here every week, more or less every week, one new part of this course, and we're going to start with Ek in the next part. Today we are doing the whole mantra in an introduction, and the next part will be just Ek, then will be Ong, then will be Kar, and so on. And we will do an explanation of what it means. So today we're going to talk about the meaning, because we're going to explore the meaning through a meditative approach to the mantra. It's a very sacred mantra. I'm going to approach it with a lot of devotion. I hope I'm doing everything right in my approach to this very sacred mantra, so that any Sikh who hears this feel that I am honoring these teachings and I am being very respectful to them. And I hope that through this exploration of the sounds, and let's do it like a meditation and reflect upon the meaning and extract what it means. My understanding of this mantra is that it contains, on one side, the essence of what God is, like the qualities of God. But at the same time, if you read it again and then you explore the meaning, then you find that there are 10 basic principles which are applied universally everywhere. Meaning that they affect us right now, just like gravity affects us, even if we don't want it, or even if we don't know about gravity is affecting our physical body. And so in the same way, there are 10 basic principles which are affecting us. And if we tune into them and we live a life in harmony with these 10 principles, there's going to be 10 virtues that are going to be developed in us as human beings. So this Mul Mantra is a meditation on the 10 universal principles and 10 virtues that we can embody within ourselves. And I'm going to do this meditative path over the following 10 weeks with the approach of Karan Kriya. And so I'm going to apply what I know from numbers into what I hear from the sounds and try to understand better these words by Guru Nanak. Personally, I find it the most powerful mantra I have chanted. I have chanted many, many mantras, and I was a mantra yogi before being a Kundalini yogi and being in contact with this mantra. So I chanted many of the mantras, and I have my own favorite personal mantra from Ramana Maharshi, and you may have heard this one in the other video I have on Guru, on the meaning of the word Guru. The one that starts with Hridaya Raguhara, the cave of the heart. some concept that I really love, the cave of the heart. And that's kind of my most close to the heart personal mantra. But the most powerful mantra I've ever chanted, that's the Mul Mantra. And so I want to honor it through this course. We're going to explore sound by sound, but we could also chant just the whole mantra. There is a number of ways in which we could meditate with this. I will share a few ways that I like to practice it. Is when I'm walking in the street, I put the Naam in the breath. Yeah, like Guru Nanak says, just chant with your breath. Keep the Naam in your breath. That's Simran, yeah? Repetitive memory, remembrance of the name, of the holy name in your breath. And you can just inhale Sat, exhale Naam, inhale Wahin, exhale Guru, or you can use the whole Mul Mantra. So the way I do it when I'm walking is I inhale, and when I'm inhaling, I'm repeating inside myself, Ekonkar, Sat Naam, Kartapurak, and so inhaling until Ajuni, yeah? Ekonkar, Sat Naam, Kartapurak, Nirbho, Nirvaira, Kalmurat, Ajuni, and then I start to exhale, say Bhangur Prasad, Japat, Sajugat, Sat Heavy, Sat Nanak, Hosibisach, inhaling and starting while I'm walking, Ekonkar, Sat Naam, Kartapurak, Nirbho, Nirvaira, Kalmurat, Ajuni, say Bhangur Prasad, Japat, Sajugat, Sat Heavy, Sat Nanak, Hosibisach, Ekonkar, Sat Naam, Kartapurak, Nirbho, Nirvaira, Kalmurat, Ajuni, say Bhangur Prasad, Japat, Sajugat, Sat Heavy, Sat Nanak, Hosibisach. And you can just do it with your breath, inhaling until Ajuni and then exhaling until the end. And that is a way of meditating and keeping the mantra in the breath while you are moving. If you are sitting still, and then you don't need to make it shorter, because it's difficult to do one mantra in one inhale, one exhale, because if you are moving, you use a lot of energy. But if you're sitting still, you could do just one inhale Mul Mantra, one exhale Mul Mantra. Or there are many variations. You could do utilizing a practice from yoga called Samavriti Pranayama, which means the same proportion. You could inhale one Mul Mantra, hold one Mul Mantra, exhale one Mul Mantra, and hold one Mul Mantra. Or you could do in some meditations from Kundalini Yoga, like you inhale 2 Mul Mantras, hold 1, exhale 2, or inhale 1, hold 3, exhale 1. There is many ways in which you could do it. So those are different variations. There is also a number of meditations from Kundalini Yoga that utilize this Mul Mantra. So I'm going to just share one that is quite beautiful. Of course, this is Kundalini Yoga, so one I would recommend to do the Om Namo Gurudev Namo and the At Guru Name before doing this meditation. But basically, in this meditation, you hold your fingers and you're gonna imagine that you have like this, yeah, like chains, like you have been caught and you are a slave, yeah, you have no power, zero power, and these hands are gonna be in the back like this. So imagine that you have been taken prisoner and you have your hands behind. Now, by putting the hands behind, your shoulder blades are going to come closer to each other. And also, the lower back is going to press forward a little bit. So make sure the lower back is pressing forward a little bit and the arms are behind, relaxed, but this feeling that you are like a slave and you have no power. And the idea is when you are chanting this mantra, is like saying, God, I'm powerless. I leave this all in your hands. Yeah, and it's a surrender, a way of surrender, but not a surrender in which we just resigned and we are, oh, look at my life, what is happening? I am powerless. It's not like this. It's more like when in the Japji, the 33rd Pauri talks about Akanjor, Chupenajor. It's about, we have no power. We think we control a lot of things, but actually how much do we control? It is God who decides, no? So in the same way, here we are giving up this need to control everything and let go and let God, right? So you put the hands in that position, and I'm going to switch the camera so you can see the mantra. In case you are not familiar with it, you could chant with me. And we chant it quite monotone. And so here it is. hold the hands behind you, and let's chant it for a few minutes. Inhale deep. Ek onkar Sat Naam karta parak nirbho nirvair akal murat ajuni saibang gur prasad jap Aad Sach Jugat Sach Hebi Sach Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. Ek Onkar Sat Naam Karta Purak Nirbho Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Saibhang Gur Prasad Jap Aad Sach Jugat Sach Hebi Sach Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. Ek Onkar Sat Naam Karta Purak Nirbho Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Saibhang Gur Prasad Jap Aad Sach Jugat Sach Hebi Sach Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. Ek Onkar Sat Naam Karta Purak Nirbho Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Saibhang Gur Prasad Jap Aad Sach Jugat Sach Hebi Sach Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. Ek Onkar Sat Naam Karta Purak Nirbho Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Saibhang Gur Prasad Jap Aad Sach Jugat Sach Hebi Sach Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. Ek Onkar Sat Naam Karta Purak Nirbho Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Saibhang Gur Prasad Jap Aad Sach Jugat Sach Hebi Sach Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. Ek Onkar Sat Naam Karta Purak Nirbho Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Saibhang Gur Prasad Jap Aad Sach Jugat Sach Hebi Sach Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. Ek Onkar Sat Naam Karta Purak Nirbho Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Saibhang Gur Prasad Jap Aad Sach Jugat Sach Hebi Sach Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. Ek Onkar Sat Naam Karta Purak Nirbho Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Saibhang Gur Prasad Jap Aad Sach Jugat Sach Hebi Sach Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. Ek Onkar Sat Naam Karta Purak Nirbho Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Saibhang Gur Prasad Jap Aad Sach Jugat Sach Hebi Sach Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. Inhale. And exhale. Wahritika Kalsa, Wahritiki Fateh. Fateh, victory. The victory is from the Guru. It is not in our powers to reach to any victory. This is the Mul Mantra. I hope you enjoy practicing. We've done a very few minutes, but you could do it for 11 minutes, this meditation, and explore and feel. How does it feel to you to do this meditation? I would like for more contributions. So if you have some story about Mul Mantra, or you know something about the history of Guru Nanak, or maybe you have a personal experience of this mantra and you would like to share it, please do so. You can write in the comments of this video. And if you want to continue with this course and being week after week with me, exploring these sounds, I would love for you to join us. And so if you subscribe to the channel, you will not miss any video. You can hit the little bell so that you have a notification when the new video appears. And if you enjoy these videos, then of course, press the like button. It doesn't take too long to just click on that little button. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you here over the next following weeks. Sat Nam.